This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Corey Winfield. You have a rich person's name. Like, you should be a billionaire with the name Winfield. Anyway, call me back, bro.
2nd of January, the second day of 2021. It's the 217 Recovery Podcast. My name is Corey Winfield. In the studio with me is
Marney Winfield.
And my name's Nico Diablo Winfield. I'm the kitty cat.
We're in Nico's room, kind of. It's in the studio, but yeah, Nico's in the studio tonight. She's just chilling on the desk. She has nothing to say. She just wants to make sure it goes off without a hitch tonight. So we will go. And your mom, we're going to get into this a little bit later, but your mom has a suggestion for us. A couple.
That's right.
Which I can't wait to get into. It's going to be amazing.
Moms always do.
Yeah. There's some personal stuff I'm going through and also some fun stuff we're going through. And we'll just dive right into that. That would be the wedding video.
Yes, we are kicking off 2021 with an amazing video my husband made.
It took me like an hour maybe.
No, it took him a lot of time.
To wait. Yeah, let me finish. To wait for it to render the first time, and then I noticed a glitch or two, so I changed it, and then another glitch or two, and then so I had to wait another hour. Yeah, I've been at it all day today. And I made like a rough draft of it last week, and I let your family see it, and your mom had some suggestions, and so did you. And I was like, it's a rough draft, man. Like, I was teleported in. Like, it was kind of cool, though, at the beginning. Like, I just show up, boom. It was pretty sweet.
It was very Star Trek-y.
Yeah, accident. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it, whatever. Just for the rough draft, because it was a rough draft. But I knew that to put it together the way I wanted to put it together is going to take some time. But it's rendering right now as we speak for hopefully the final time. And then it comes to uploading it to our website. So
yes, so you all are going to be able to watch our wedding.
Yeah, so maybe you get done with this podcast, head over to 217recovery.com/wedding, and there should be a page and a little video, and I hope.
We hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, and we got to watch it all the way to the end.
The end. Watch it to the end.
Until it stops. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. My mom can see that. My brother and sister who weren't there. Your brother and sister who weren't there. Our relatives, our grandparents. I have, two that are alive.
Yeah.
John and Marlene. So they get to watch it.
Yeah, our aunts and uncles. All our friends and loved ones everywhere across the world.
George.
Join us virtually.
I wonder how many of my friends are going to watch it for real, like my guy friends.
I don't know. We're going to find out, though.
Then I'll be like, why are you staring at my girl, dog?
It's super entertaining.
He did it pretty in that dress, huh?
He did
Is that why you watched it?
Thank you, honey. No, but it's super entertaining. It's not that long. And, watch it at the end. That's just a little. That's all we can say about it.
Yeah, the total is like 21 minutes.
Yeah,
that's with like a 3-minute song at the end.
Right.
With like pictures and stuff flying in out of nowhere.
Yeah, we just kind of just bing, bang, boom. Like, It
was the best wedding ever.
It was very to the point. And
if you want to know how we did it, ask Marney. Her email is marney@217recovery.com. She'll set it up.
Yeah, if you want to know how to have the most quick and easy, beautiful, romantic wedding possible, just let me know. I can help you. I should make that happen for you. I should be like the wedding planner that is just like bing, bang, boom.
Yeah, we got lucky on a lot of things. And I was just going to say, we're the type of people, we really only want one shot at this.
Yeah.
So to have it turn out like it did was just amazing. Mm-hmm. It just goes to show you, too, that you stick with your recovery, you stick with doing the things you're supposed to be doing, you're going to attract the people that you need to attract. And I don't know, it's so much better now, my life is, than what it used to be. And, you're a huge part of that. So, we wanted to do it right the first time. We did. The cake sucked. Other than that, it was cake. It's
See,
like
the
saying
thing,
ice cream's
people,
bad.
the cake was fine.
Yeah,
The cake was actually very, very good. It was just fancy, and sometimes fancy doesn't mean it tastes the best, but it was beautiful, and yes, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
and our flower shop did amazing. The Blossom Shop in Traverse City, Michigan.
throwing plugs. Hell yeah, I like it.
And our cake we got from the Sweet Tartlet Bakery in Traverse City, Michigan. Shop local, everyone. Yeah. Wherever you are.
Yeah, if you're not from Traverse City, then don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Don't
do that.
Cakes,
but shop local for sure, because Walmart doesn't need our support.
But local people work at Walmart.
Well, yeah, but okay.
Local people back there baking them cakes, trying to get their money.
You know what I mean.
I guess. Shop wherever you need to. Just make sure your cake doesn't suck. See, we didn't get a chance to sample it.
No, we didn't.
But it was so last minute with COVID and everything too. But again, end of the day, man, how many people would say, man, I wish that was the worst thing that happened at my wedding.
Yeah, and you know what surprises me too is the things that you can rise up to the occasion to actually do by yourself. Like, I get it, the whole, kind of like hiring people to, like, I need a decorator or I need you can do it yourself, really. And plus, when you do it yourself, it's exactly what you want it to be. Mm-hmm. And that's the magical thing about it. And that's what, I had a vision of what I wanted, and, we put it together.
Here's something I didn't think about. And I don't think it really affected me now looking back. But you planned most of the wedding. You did all the heavy lifting. I did maybe 5% of it.
You think so?
Okay, maybe 4.
I don't know when you made up for it with the video, though.
Yeah, the video. Okay, then I know. That's
okay.
That's what was my thing. That's what I have to do.
Yeah. We all have our things, though, see?
Yeah. See, mine's after the wedding. But the wedding has to happen, and you put all that together. Did you, and of course you're in early recovery, you've been sober a year and a few months, and boom, you're putting together this wedding. It's very stressful. At any time did you start thinking, oh man, I could just use a glass of wine, or oh, it'd be nice to, did you ever have those kind of, I don't want to call them cravings, but those bad habits or
exact opposite
tendencies popped in your head?
No, exact opposite. I just kept reminding myself that all of this was made happen because of my recovery. This goes back to, staying positive and your whole mindset about life when you're sober and what you can accomplish. And just those things in your world keep working out. And it's because you put your all into it, and that you believe in yourself, and things can happen. And yeah, you're going to hit bumps and hiccups and stuff. There was some stuff, just with the wedding that, I wanted some kind of way, and that wasn't going to be possible. But, you work around it, you work with what you got, and you ask for help when you need it in different arenas, and then you end up with this, awesome product. And that just, in this case, happened to be our wedding. But I think that goes for anything, with anyone, any projects that people have. When you're in early recovery, don't label yourself with that. Like, I can't take this on, because no, you can. You can just, recognize your limitations, recognize the things you have to work with, and then do it.
Man.
Mm-hmm. And people might be listening and thinking, man, like, who are these? Like, of course, you got 2 years sober. Marney has a year and a few months. I thought you weren't supposed to date in early recovery. Well, we got to stop that just for a minute, because it's not like we just put down the bottle and that was 2 years ago,
right,
or a year and some months ago. No. And we've been at this quite some time. Me, almost 6 years. Mm-hmm. And I remember, there's an article that you had in the paper about, I don't know, sober living, or maybe you're just completing drug court or something. That was like 2010.
No, that was
2000.
2009.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It was a long time ago.
So,
and yeah, I was going through the punitive piece, like I was doing the legal thing. And I reflect on that kind of a lot in terms of looking back on my journey in recovery, because I needed that. I think that was a really pivotal point in my life of when I was forced by law to have to be involved in my recovery. That people called it being paper trained or whatever, because I had to go to meetings. I mean, a lot of meetings, and I had to, do the outpatient treatment, and I had to do X, Y, and Z. And I think it did lay a foundation of, what it takes to be sober and what it means to be sober and how to do it. The nitty gritty, kind of cut and dry, this is how you do it, by going counseling and by, going through the inpatient treatment and the outpatient and groups and classes and things like that. So I think it did lay a foundation for me, like I said, about what recovery, what it takes to live in recovery. And you know what, guys, it didn't work for me. I mean, I had 2 years of sobriety, and, it wasn't like a crazy relapse or anything. It was just, I went back out. I thought I could handle it. And little by little, I picked back up, but I didn't think I was like, I'm still young, I've learned all this stuff. So I know what to look out for. I know I'm in, have a problem, but I can handle it. And it doesn't work that way. And it sneaks back up on you because, it took another 2 years or so until it started affecting my life terribly again. So it doesn't happen overnight. But if I can't go back and I can't change anything, and everything happened like it should have. So I'm not going to, kick myself for that. But yeah, so when you fall, pick yourself back up and keep on going.
Yeah, so you had a couple of years, and I never had that, but I've had some months, and we all think that, no, this time it's going to be different, because like you said, this time I'll see the warning signs. I'll know it. Mm-hmm. And then I'll just stop then. But like you said, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And I've said it a million times, it's a very slippery slope. And that's why they say, for people like me, alcoholic, that's what they call us. I'm in recovery. But people with substance use disorder and alcohol would happen to be that substance for me. I cannot have one drink. Right. There's no point in that. I'm going to need more and more and more. And then the next thing you know, we were talking about it earlier today. You and I were about how, is it really that expensive? And we're like, well, yeah, no, I mean, what is it, like $20 a day for half a fifth? Or no, a half gallon. Half gallon. And, we're going to need that once every day. And then we're going to lose our job. Like, we know we're just going to stop showing up. And we might even black out and miss a few days. But, yeah, we're not going to have a job. So then there's no money coming in. What little, is saved is gone. Yeah. Car insurance, rent. Okay, what's more important? Lights get cut off. I mean, it happens quicker than you think.
It happens.
I got like $5,000 in the bank. Well, that'll be gone. Do you really want to piss that away? You can just give it to me. Yeah. And so how many times I let that happen too? I would be in a spot where I had money in the bank and I had a job, and then, you never think that's going to happen. And then it does. And then it's, in hindsight, you're looking back like, how did I not know that was just going to happen again? How did I not know that? But it's a disease, it's a disease, and it, we obsess about it, and it owns us, and it runs our world and runs our lives. And, so you just have to be cautious and
recognize all the signs when you actually do have a good thing going for you and have confidence in yourself to keep on keeping on.
It's amazing how the front brain, because they say that's the part of the brain that addiction is in, and that's the part of the brain that, tells us, ooh, fire, hot, don't touch it. Food, eat it, good. Mm-hmm. Well, the alcohol in the addiction, I guess you could say, it takes over that, where it's like, food, whatever, ooh, heroin, good, alcohol, good, and food, water, whatever, shelter, who cares, alcohol, it just
supersedes.
Yeah, and like you said, you can go a couple years, and I've seen people go 20 years, and you think, man, 20 years, that front brain should be all repaired, it should be good, all back to normal, I can do drinking like everybody else, but it doesn't work that way. Somehow, that front part of the brain, that addiction part, and I've heard people say, oh, while you're, in AA meetings getting stronger, so is your addiction. He's outside doing push-ups waiting for you. Mm-hmm. And that's true. That part never goes away. And that's where they say, you can never drink again. I can't. The day that I think I can is the day that I probably, I don't know. Like, even if I cancer, which I don't want to say I have cancer, or not ever really want to put that out there, but I just did, so whatever. But even if I was diagnosed with toe fungus disease and they're like, that's going to take your life, I wouldn't go drink.
Right.
That would be like, ugh, like, all right, this is horrible. Drinking is not going to cure it. So, like, why would I want to be miserable? Like, that would just be bad.
You know what? Toe fungus may take you, but alcohol will take you faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least for us.
For sure. So, anyway, this is a little wedding talk that got turned into a little AA session. So right. That's good. You want to get into your mom's stuff right now?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
So your mom was listening to the podcast today. Said it was the best one she's ever heard in her entire life.
Yeah.
Being on this earth.
Did she say those words?
The world.
I don't know if she said those words, but she did say that it was great.
I thought she said it was the best she'd ever heard in the earth.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. So she did have a suggestion, though. A couple. Mm-hmm. That we take live callers. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, it's a podcast.
Yeah.
Even if we did a live podcast, I mean, there's a way to do it, but a lot of people don't. I mean, if we told everybody, hey, Saturday live at 7 p.m., and then people in other countries would have to back time it and figure out what time it is, just like James Deere.
Right.
In his group that he runs, it's confusing for me sometimes on Thursdays. I think it's at 3 p.m. our time in Michigan, but he does like this all-world Zoom meeting, which is very cool. They talk funny, but it's cool. Mm-hmm. But I can never remember the damn time. And people listen to us from all over the country, so like to catch everybody at that time live, I don't know. It just seems it seems hard.
Yeah, it's Mom. Great idea, Mom.
Are.
But for real, it probably is not realistic, like for our setup.
And the beauty is, right now, someone's maybe taking a poop or a shower, or maybe they're just laying in bed,
or maybe they're working at their job,
taking poop.
Making stuff
poop you'll
or
ever
whatever.
Take, getting paid for it. But yeah, I'm just saying. Not that I've done that before.
Where your brain goes sometimes, it's just worrisome.
Just saying, real life talk.
Okay.
I give it to you real.
Maybe you're making dinner, listening to your, listening to us.
Yeah. You could be doing that too. Maybe
laundry,
breakfast. But the point is, you're listening on your time, and that's the beauty of the podcast.
Right.
So, I don't know. But then she had another idea, which I thought wasn't too bad. A Dear Marney column.
Oh, yeah.
Or Dear Corey.
Yeah.
Or you can write us letters and ask us questions.
And you can do that whenever you want.
Right.
I don't think we need to create anything for that.
No, and we get that a lot.
Yeah.
It's just we don't blast it all over the podcast. Well, sometimes I do if it's a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. His name just happens to be Jamie. Then I just I put it out there. But
no, we welcome any topics of conversation that you guys think would be great to hear about, for us to talk about. Mm-hmm. stuff that's going on with you and some feedback on our end, anything like that, please, email us and let's talk about it.
Yeah, and don't think that if you email us, if you do have a concern, maybe a loved one or somebody, we're not going to blast it on the podcast. Like I said, unless your name's Jamie and you're my friend, but you're not, because, well, you're not. But anyway.
No, on a serious note, though, it's very, very discreet. And if it's things, that are super sensitive, I'm sure we'll recognize that. And,
we understand. But feel free. Corey, Corey, at 217recovery.com. The number's 2, the number's 1. Well, I guess the number 1 and 7. You know what it is.
And then my email is Marney, Marney, at 217recovery.com.
Oh, I thought I changed it.
What would you have changed it to?
Hot Bride at 217.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Sexual relationships.
Get some. So, no, it's Marney at 217recovery.com. So, yeah, send away. Because that was a pretty good idea, I thought. And, I mean, people already do anyway, but, yeah, if there's a question or something, and maybe from time to time we should just throw it out there, like, hey, hit us up. We're not doctors, but we know a little bit.
Yeah. A little bit.
We've been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Had a guy who was looking for a treatment center, and he wanted to know what treatment center leans more towards meditation. And I didn't know the answer to that. I told him a lot of the treatment centers nowadays are more open to different pathways. And it's kind of like a bunch of all of them, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
They'll still do your AA, your NA, which I think is great. But they'll throw in some of the other stuff. Celebrate Recovery is one.
Wellbriety.
Yep.
Life Ring.
Dharma. I know they meditate, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I would say Dharma is the pathway that is more.
I mean, just because they meditate in the beginning, but I mean, I don't know.
But I think that in the in their materials, I think there was more guidance, guided meditation and things like that. But you know what? Here's the beauty of it, you guys, is pick your own pathway, and whatever works for you, then Yeah,
you can go to any treatment center and go to group, and when you're done with group, go to your room and meditate.
And treatment centers, they do that for a reason, because a lot of people don't have a committed, way of how they feel like they don't even know what works for them. And so this is just a way for them to kind of essentially force people to experience at least all of them. And then some treatment centers actually give you the opportunity to go to one or the other, depending on what fits you. And always, once you do kind of establish, this is kind of what I'm drawn to, this is what I'm comfortable with, vocalize that, to the group, to your counselor, to more so just to yourself, and, have that be, the way that the pathway that works for you, and stick with it.
Yeah. And my word of advice on that, feel free, voice your opinion. But don't get butthurt if it doesn't go your way. You have to remember, you can only control what you can control. If you're going to somebody saying, hey, I think we should do this meditation for an hour today, and they're like, that's not in our plan. No. Don't let that bend your attitude. Like, don't think, well, I'm not going to the stupid AA meeting then because I want to meditate. No, because if you start having that kind of attitude, it doesn't matter what kind of meeting you go to, it's going to be shit. So just put your big boy pants on and just go, okay, what can I control about the situation? Maybe you sit in the meeting, and maybe you just close your eyes and meditate yourself. If they say, well, you're not participating, like, well, here's what, I felt that was best for me is I really needed to meditate at that time. So that's what I did.
Well, I'll be honest with you. All of these pathways exist for a reason. I mean, they all have something to offer as individuals. I've found things about each pathway that I enjoy. And I think that I've taken something from every single meeting that I've gone to, regardless of what the title of it is. They're all kind of have the same idea. You know, they all have your recovery and your well-being in recovery in their best interest. You know? So, and once you join it, I guess maybe also too is like, it's not even about joining. Like you don't have to like sign your world over to anything. You're just essentially just, if you decide that something works for you, then, you know, get familiar with it. But that doesn't mean that you have to opt out of anything else.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd still go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't get butt hurt. And if it doesn't go your way, don't think, well, I'm not going to any meeting then. You know, still go to the meeting, but just meditate or do whatever you need to do later. But, you know, what can you control about the situation? Mm-hmm. Seriously, what can you control about it?
Right.
Just remember that. If you're going into treatment or you know somebody is, just tell them that. Like, hey, you're going to get mad. You're going to get angry. Then you got to figure out why you're angry. You feel disrespected. You didn't get your way. Because we're used to getting our way.
Yeah.
I mean, I still get my way sometimes, you know.
Sexual relationship.
Marney, stop hitting that button.
Oh, my God.
Jesus. Anyway. There's a personal matter, and you're aware of it. A family member. And I just don't know. You know, there's nothing really that I can do except say that they need to find God. You know, their relationship with God is so important, and I think I talked about it the other day. But without that, you got nothing. There's a church back in my hometown of Coloma that I used to attend called Freshwater, and the preacher Justin, great dude, great family. My friend Brian is, I think he's in the welcoming committee or something like that. I think it's called something better than that, but. No, when I walked in there the first time, and I was doing like this church tour. I was hitting churches and it's getting vibes, and I'd walk in and some churches would put like a kid at the door wearing a little suit and, hey, how's it going, sir? You know, and give me a little pamphlet and some goodies or something. And I'm like, yeah. But this church, when I went there the first time, I remember I walked in and Brian, big tall guy, and he comes up and he just a big smile on his face. And he's like, hey, you're new. I'm Brian. How are you? You know, and it was just real warm and genuine. And nothing was forced. Nobody was trying to give me anything. They did have donuts, by the way, which was a surprise. That was good. But it was cool. It was non-denominational. And I heard in one of Justin's sermons early on, and he was talking about, he came out and it was at the old gym in Coloma. And he's up on the stage or whatever, and he's like, all right, what I'm going to say, it might hurt some people, and that's fine. You know, if this isn't your church, it's not your church. There's plenty of other churches you can choose from, you know. But he's like, I don't believe in religion. You know, he's like, religion was created by man, and he goes into this whole thing, and I'm just like, that's what I'm talking about, man. And he's like, it's your relationship with God that's going to get you where you need to go, you know. And he's like, you can go to church every day if you wanted to for the next 20 years. It doesn't make you a good person. It doesn't mean you have a good relationship with God. You know, what he's showing up for your neighbors, you're showing up for everybody else. That doesn't work that way, you know. And you really have to sit and pray and have a relationship with God. And that made a lot of sense to me. And so I went back over and over. And then I noticed that they had these community groups. And I thought, what is this? They're like, oh, we have tacos every Tuesday. We go over to Brian's. I'm like, what? I like tacos. I like Brian. Like, this is perfect. So I go over there and I started telling them my story, you know, of the liver failure and how I was in early recovery and struggling, you know, and I'd go a month and then back and a month and back. And, you know, they told me they would pray for me, and they never judged me. You know, I learned a lot of people in there had problems, and the community groups is a good place that we would go talk about them. I mean, there was one that was before service on Sundays that I would go to, and it was great. There was like 8 or 9 of us, and everybody kind of had a different problem. And we would just kind of talk about it, and people would come to me like, hey, you know, family member so-and-so, has a problem. I'm like, yeah, I'm not the guy to talk to about that. I have a problem too. I'm just struggling. But no, it was great. And just to be involved in something, and it felt like an AA meeting, but I was the only one with the substance use disorder, It was nice though. It was nice to talk to other normal people. Mm-hmm. And, that's one thing about AA is you meet really good people. But sometimes, like, the meeting's over and boom, it's like ghost town, man. Everybody's gone. Like, nobody wants to hang out and talk, or it's just
right.
And that's one thing that does suck about that. But you make friends and you can talk to them outside of there. But yeah, the community group and just being involved in that, I think, is something that the family member of mine, that's the only really advice that I could give. Just that relationship with God, going to see a therapist is something I think maybe down the road. But right now, I think money could be an issue, and I really don't see this family member really opening up, telling the truth. Mm-hmm. So I think it'd be pointless, and it would just probably lead to more frustration. But I think that relationship with God and starting there, mm-hmm. and just really finding other ways to fill the void or, the struggle that's going on in their life right now. Yeah, it makes you uncomfortable. Yeah. And you and I know this all too well that, we think the bottle's our friend. We think that that's going to help us through it, which it numbs it for now. And then you wake up and then things are 4 times worse. And then, mm-hmm. You go right back to it again. And it's this vicious cycle. But there's other ways to fill that void, and being involved in community and just involved. Sometimes it's hard. You're like, oh, I'm depressed and I feel like crap. Yeah, I was there, man. I felt I wanted to crawl in a hole and die. I couldn't even get out of bed. It was horrible. Mm-hmm. It gets better though, and a part of that was because my body didn't have alcohol. Especially when you're first coming off of it, it's tough. It's real tough. But just push through it and just know that even if you do go back, if you've been sober 3 months, 5 months, a year, 10 years, you can get right back up and just do it again. Mm-hmm. Don't give up on yourself because life is great.
For sure.
Okay, I think I'm done.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
No, so much truth to it. You said it.
Perfect. So 217recovery.com/wedding. Mm-hmm. Again, when you're listening to this, it should be up there. I'm just saying, I haven't watched the last rendering.
Okay. So when you post this, it'll be up.
Yeah, by the time someone hears this, it should be up. But I still have to figure out how to put it on the website. I think I know how. I hope I don't have to upload it to YouTube first.
Oh, goodness.
I know. I mean, it's not that bad, but damn, it's still, that's just waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a girl like you to come into my life. All right, we're going to go sing some karaoke.
All right.
Just kidding. All right, but thanks again, though, for listening. I do appreciate it. Share it with your friends. If you know somebody who might benefit, feel free. 217recovery.com is our website. It's pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. Amazon Smile. There's details on how you can help us out just by buying stuff from Amazon. It's pretty simple. And also, if you want to help somebody get to treatment, there's a way to do that as well. 217recovery.com. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you mañana.
Good night, everybody.